Thanks to Morgan.
Yes, Morgan did a lot trying to get us our volunteers to come out and help us. We had a profit of $520. We paid a bill of $307 to the American Legion to pay for the food that they ordered for us. And they also served the food, cooked the food, and the Optimist Club and Junior Optimists served the food. And then the Junior Optimists helped clean the tables and serve the juices and the coffee, and we really appreciate it. We will be presenting a check of $500 to the program Lift the Burden at USD 475, and that was the main reason we were doing that fundraiser. So it went very well. We're very appreciative for all the members that helped that Saturday morning. And a reminder, our next fundraiser is on Tuesday, the 30th of September. It's at the Blue Restaurant. This is the first time we've done a fundraiser. Excuse me. And Jordan told us that she'd be happy to sponsor this with us. So we will be there from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening, and we will receive 20% of whatever they sell in the food stuff. We are allowed to have our donation jar at the entrance, and Farrell and I will be there. And then we've already got a list of several people helping us at an hour time period for that fundraiser. So we are looking forward to that and see how that one goes. And I believe the money that we can collect for that fundraiser will go to the 16 different youth groups that we have. No?
Scholarship.
Oh, okay, it's scholarships. The next one is going to have 60. And then this morning, one more other thing. I need to let you know that I received another message from Randy Bales, who is the governor in the state of Kansas, our optimist governor, and he stressed that members attend the October meeting, which will be at Salina, Kansas, which isn't too far, and it's the 17th and 18th of October. We will be going on the 18th, the Saturday one, and if anybody would like to come with us, we'd be happy to have you. I do have the application, and it has to be submitted with a check. So if you would like, I have several copies of this, and I can send that in with ours. And it's on the 18th of October. You do know that each quarter we attend a district meeting, and each meeting is at a different location. And they tried to make it all different since all the other Optimist Club in the state of Kansas, they're trying to make it available so more people can attend. Okay, let's see. This morning we have a student of the month. Farrell, did you want to?
Refer to Morgan.
Okay.
Oh,
Morgan.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is our first student of the month from the Junction City High School. And if you guys didn't know, basically how it works is there's a Microsoft form that's sent out to teachers, and then they nominate students and they write a little paragraph about them. So the teacher who nominated Riley wasn't able to be here this morning, so I'm just going to read what she wrote in the paragraph on the form when nominating her. So she wrote, she's a hard worker and helpful. She's actively participating in FFA. She's a leading member in Educators Rising, which is a future educators club, and she was selected to attend Emporia State University annual summer Kansas Future Teachers Academy to connect with others with the same passion, teachers, and try out new lessons to kickstart their career paths. She's brought back that excitement to share with her education pathway peer and club members. So Riley, if you want to come up and kind of talk a little bit about yourself and kind of how you're involved at the high school and what your plans are for next year.
So I'm the president of Educators Rising.
I am the student advisor of FFA, and I'm in the FOS Academy for teaching and training. Next year, I'm going to Emporia State University. I've already been accepted. And I'm going to major in early childhood and get my minor in psychology, and then hopefully teach for a couple years and go to KU for my master's in special education.
Yeah. Sorry, Casey.
Very good.
Riley, other activities you're involved in?
I do Scholars Bowl. That's another thing I'm
Scholars
involved
Bowls. Help us understand what FOS stands for.
in. FOS is Fine Arts and Human Services.
How about Mom? Any comments?
She's very determined. When she sets her mind to something, that's the way it's going to be. And she has been on this path for many, many years. So I'm very excited to see where she goes with this.
Why did you decide you wanted to be a teacher?
Probably because like I want to be able to not only help kids the way that teachers have helped me, but also because sometimes teachers don't understand, like whether that's with the special education departments or whether that's with just dealing with little kids and like just kind of how a little kid's brain works. And yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Education Rising group?
So Educators Rising, we get together a couple times a month. We'll go to different field trips. Like we have one planned September 30th to go to the Future Teacher Summit at Emporia State University. It's a free event, and hopefully a lot of our stuff that we go to is free. We're planning to go on a lot more field trips to different like the middle school. I know we have one planned for Lincoln Elementary to go observe teachers. And we actually today we have for parent teacher conferences, we also have a teacher daycare. So teachers can bring in their kids while they go do parent teacher conferences, and they stay in the early childhood room. And we get to stay with their kids. And we all get to kind of get together a bunch, and it's really a good time to, meet other people who have the same passion as you do.
So do you get to regularly work in the early childhood daycare center at the school?
So this year we don't have a class for them. And it's our early childhood classes that would work with those students. So the only times that we really get to work with those students is if there's times that we will plan lessons and we'll go teach them. Like last year for FFA and Educators Rising, I was able to go teach them with my best friend. And we got to go teach them about how germination works and take this big concept for little kids and like crunch it down into this little one. So they got to make the life cycle of corn, and they also got to do like little like greenhouses necklaces where they got to grow corn in a necklace for Kansas Week.
So when you're all done with your education, where do you plan on going? There's like a nice new early childhood center.
I don't know if I'm gonna stay in Kansas or if I'm gonna try to just kind of see where they need teachers. Because that's definitely a big part. Go somewhere where like teachers are needed and like good teachers are needed.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Good teachers are needed.
As a student at the high school and what you're doing, you see the challenges that teachers are facing now. So how do you convince other students to want to be interested in teaching?
Definitely trying to find like people who maybe have struggled in high school have definitely helped, because I know one of my teachers, she was at the middle school in Fort Riley in 8th grade, and then she moved over to the high school my freshman year. But like she always talked about how like high school was hard for her, and like that's why she wanted to teach older kids, was to be that person that they could go to. And so definitely like taking your like the way that you've grown up and relating those to other kids have definitely helped a lot of teachers connect with students. And I want to be able to do that with like littler kids, because working with older kids and being able to teach them right now and seeing how teachers are like not only like treated by older kids, but just like the way that the concepts work differently, I would much rather like want to work with littler kids.
Well, stay on your path, and you know, it's about time we're gonna include teachers in the phrase of thank you for your service.
Let's get a picture.
Mom?
Oh.
Make sure that.
Good name.
So you're getting a certificate from the club. You're getting a $25 gift certificate from JC's Barbecue. Okay? So can I just position you a little bit? So it's real important that you hold that there. It's right there. See it, and everybody sees JC's Barbecue. Hold in. I really need to get it just to put it off the screen.
Okay.
All righty. Okay. Sorry, James, I have to
It's
go
all
over
right.
here. Whiskey. That's good. All righty. Getting closer. Here we go.
All right.
We'll take a couple. That's one. Riley, can you turn the certificate just a little bit to, there you go. Good. Got it. Thank you. Congratulations. You want me to take you and her alone?
Yeah, I just want to run with her
Oh,
for all her stuff.
Sure.
Is your mom almost called over? Early.
okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Farrell, would you like to introduce our speaker?
I will. Heather is a committed late morning ariser, and she has made a tremendous sacrifice to get here to present to us, and share ideas of what's going on at the Historical Society. There's been a recent surge in, so what happens at the Historical Society anyway? Kind of question that's been going around the community, and Heather is here to talk about that, and I think she has some other things to share with us. So welcome, Heather.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. As Farrell said, it's a little early for me to be optimistic, but I'm going to try my hardest. Also, as you said, we have had a lot of questions recently about what does the Historical Society do? It sounds like some sort of secret club, but we're not. Anybody can walk in the door. Anyone can come check us out and learn about our community's history and heritage. But to give you a little bit of information on us, if you're unaware, the Historical Society is not just a secret club. We actually have 6 historic buildings throughout the county that we care for and operate and open for the public to come learn. 5 of those are within Junction City limits, and one of those is our museum at 530 North Adams. Who's been to our museum? Ron, Farrell, Nita, James, awesome. If you haven't been, I hope that you will. It's a big old building. Most often we get asked, where is that building? And what's it closest to? Despite the fact that it's a giant stone building that's been there for 120 years, we have to say it's next to Subway. And then people go, oh yeah, of course, the tiny building. Yeah, I know where that is. So come on out, come visit us. We have 3 floors of exhibits. We have a new exhibit, federally funded, that just opened this past summer, all about Black history in our community. We worked with the Black History Trail of Geary County to get that one up and running. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's one of the best ones we've done. But along with that, we also have exhibits on Main Street, on currently the evolution of household goods, and then of businesses in the community. Along with those exhibits, I do have a list because I'm not going to remember these numbers off the top of my head. We are the repository for over 100,000 items relating to Geary County history, all the way back from prehistoric fossils to, I think I have a flip phone in my collection. So really the whole array of history. We have 10,000 photos, again, dating all the way back to the earliest pioneer tintypes to digital photos that people send us from their most recent events. So we really try to preserve not just that old pioneer history, but also the current history that we're all living right now. During COVID, we actually ended up with a time capsule that people could come in, tell their story. At the time we were in lockdown, so obviously people couldn't come in when we first started it. We had people across the state sending us in stories of what lockdown was like for them. It was just supposed to be a little thing for our community. Didn't realize it was statewide news, but it was pretty cool to see those stories, to see teachers sending in photos of their class on Zoom. So little history for everything. We also have an archive filled with nearly every newspaper, every yearbook ever printed. We have tax records, family records, school records. If you're looking for a record, there's a good chance we have it. So we really do try to preserve and protect all of the history of our community. And that is from paper to building. And then along with that, because not everyone is a big history nerd like me, we want to get people excited about history because we feel like if you are proud of your community's history and their heritage, you're proud of your community. So our goal is creating community pride through programming. Last year, you all very generously donated to our education program. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we did with that funding. So I'm the executive director and curator. My role is not really programs. I have an amazing program director who does all of that. But there's only two of us. So we work together on a lot of things. And over the last couple of years, one of our big passion projects has been History Alive. Did any of you come out to History Alive this year? Sarah? I hope you all get a chance to come out next spring when we do it again. It was held in April at our Spring Valley Historic Site. Currently wearing our shirt. History Alive was born a couple years ago when we had a reenactor named Moose Geary walk into our door and say, "Hey, I got a teepee. Can you let me put it up?" And we said, "I don't know. What do you know? What's the teepee for?" And our eyes were open to an entire world of reenactment. And our opinion is anytime you get to touch the history, you're more likely to remember that history. So History Alive is a chance to step back in time and really immerse yourself in history. This past year, we were able to double the size of History Alive. We had over 1,000 people come out. That included around 350 students on a day just for Junction City students. Our site was open, so that includes the Spring Valley Historic Site. That includes the Wetzel Cabin, the Little Cabin. All of those sites there on K18 and Spring Valley Road were all open to the public. But along with that, we had living historians inside those buildings. At various times, we had someone teaching about historic photography practices. We had someone playing the fiddle and playing historic music. You could do laundry. You could learn about children's tours. You could take a class in schoolroom. And that was just at our site. We were very fortunate to have the assistance of the Munson family. They own the land south of our property, and they let us kind of take over that land for that weekend. And so with your help, we were able to be stewards of that land, mow it down, clean it up, so that way it was ready for this massive event. We had reenactors come in from across the state and even some from Missouri. We had 6 teepees, I think. We had a pop-up jail. So we had kids and adults getting arrested by a sheriff. You could go into some of the teepees and really learn how the Native tribes constructed them. We had axe throwing and archery, and there was a little bit for everybody. So I brought a picture just so y'all can see. This was our cast of reenactors that were out there.
Almost looks like Mr. Bobo.
Oh, wait a minute.
And it was truly a magical weekend. Those reenactors had so much fun. They were so excited to bring history alive in Geary County. We already have those reenactors plus some asking how they can be a part of it next year. So we are anticipating a bigger, better, just more fun event. It's one of the most fun things that we do. And we were able to do it partially because you were supportive of us. So thank you very much for that. We really hope that it becomes something really special for our community. I grew up going to something similar. And I think at the time that they closed after 30 years of doing it, I think they had like 80 reenactors that would set up camp. So that's our dream, is to get there. That's not going to be until April, so hang tight. But until then, we have lots of fun educational and community events. So just going to list up some of them. We have our hot dogs and hot rods car show and ice cream social coming up this Saturday. So we will have vintage cars, we'll have live music, we'll have hot food, homemade pies from the local 4-H groups. And it's just a really good community event and a fundraiser for us. We have our Murder on Main Street encore event. So if y'all have never been to one of our murder mysteries before, this is a great one to come to. We actually sold out in February, so we're doing this one again, but it's the story of some ragtag pioneers who came into town only to have their wagon master shot. And so our guests are asked to help us solve the mystery. There's a delicious barbecue meal, interactive event. It's a lot of fun. So tickets are on sale for that now. We still have a couple left. We also have our STEAM Saturday programs that we do once a month. These are free to the public, very kid friendly. Last year we had 44 programs throughout the year, and of those, I believe 33 of them were for kids and families. So we really try to focus on ingraining the love of history in the youth, because sometimes the classroom doesn't do that. They leave history class feeling like history is boring. And so we want to show them that it's actually a lot of fun. So we have a sports history one coming up in October. And then we have an illuminating Victorian light one coming up in November, where we'll do a lot of science activities around how the Victorians illuminated their life. So there'll be some candle making, some things like that. We have our newest community event coming up also in October, Heritage in Action, which is a cleanup day at Highland Cemetery. Just like all of us, Highland Cemetery has limited funds. It's very large. And so we want to be able to go out and help them clean up at least a portion. They have a lot of flowers that are placed and then they blow around. It's soon going to be fall. There's going to be leaves down on all those beautiful trees. So we just want to give back, help clean up the cemetery, and then we will also be doing a talk of some of the people that are buried there. So it's a little help and learn situation, but we're really looking forward to doing that. So it's currently mid-September. I believe we have 16 programs left for the year. So just because it's starting to get cold out doesn't mean we're slowing down. In fact, we are speeding up. The last thing I brought for you is mostly just because I think it's pretty cool. The thing about being a historian is that you're always learning. Just because I have a couple degrees doesn't mean that I have stopped learning. It would be impossible to do my job if I thought that way. People are always bringing things in that I have to research or talk to them about so that I can learn about why it's relevant, why. And so this was recently sent to us by a gentleman out west. He is a trail hound, if you will. His passion is mapping historic trails. And so this arrived to us. This is exactly how it arrived. I did not put it on this board. You'll notice it says BOD on there. Can anyone tell me what BOD stands for? No? It is the little shorthand for the Butterfield Overland Dispatch, which was a trading route started here in Junction City by David Butterfield, and went all the way out west through Colorado. And this was found a little further west. This was found in Logan County, but these items all came off of that trading route. I did not know much about the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. I knew it existed, and I knew that the guy who started it lived here because we have some pictures of him. But aside from that, I didn't know anything about it. So when this arrived, I had to do a little bit of research, had to do a little bit of learning, and honestly, that's what being in a historical society is all about. So walk around with this, let you guys little fun game of what is that item. Ron, any guesses on any of these?
I would say bullets.
Well, okay, just take the easy one. Sure.
But the silhouette thing,
The silhouette thing?
looks like a piece of molding. I'm curious about that.
Okay.
It looks like what you'd use to carve a master molding. Make
You're
it
gonna
decorative.
be really upset
Am I?
because on the back where the guy wrote me my cheat sheet, he said iron ring.
Iron.
Honestly, I think it's the top of a can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
The key. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is that a key?
I believe it's a can opener.
Oh, okay.
Farrell, any guesses?
I was thinking, now that you already told what that is,
Yeah.
that perhaps those could have been, can you get your fingers inside those little things?
Which ones?
In the silhouette.
What am I putting my finger?
Get your hands on history.
Yeah. Those are
Oh,
definitely bullets.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Okay, top of the bottle.
Boy, you're good. Any guesses?
Yeah, knife blade.
Knife blade. Yeah, exactly. Broken knife blade. Nails. Some nails. Yep, we've got some square head nails right there, nice and old. We have a couple buckles. We actually have the piece of a buckle and then the full buckle. I know, now we're getting hard. Yeah.
Real good.
Yep.
Mr. Russell, on the cemetery work, given your vast
I
experience.
don't know that we have specifics except for that they were labeled. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think we did
Yeah,
that. Probably.
yeah, exactly. Any guesses? I know we only have a couple
I
left.
get ready to say, shoot, they took everything.
You're missing the easiest one.
I'm missing the easiest one. Pouch or something? I don't know.
It's a can.
It's a can.
It's a Now, this came to me already pretty easy to solve because he wrote it on the back. But sometimes things like this come in as a donation. Sometimes we have people who metal detect in our backyard and say, hey, I found this. And then we have to do some research to find out what it is. So history is all about learning, whether you're a student, whether you're a historian, and that's what the Historical Society is all about. We want to teach little kids to love history. We want to teach adults to love history. We want to help you find your family history or whatever piece of history you're interested in. And if we don't know the answer, we will research right alongside you, try to find out. So, yeah.
Got a question. So like the library has gone to the great efforts to digitize the papers. The Republic,
Yeah. So,
the Union. And are you guys working in cooperation with them?
Yeah. So we have the papers,
Okay.
and we have the new the yearbooks. When I first started, I've been at the museum for a little over 12 years now. When I first started, that project was ongoing, and they would basically come in we were on the yearbooks at the time, and they would come in every month or so and say, okay, these are the ones we're up to. And we would go down to the archives, pull them up, hand them over.
Okay.
They would get digitized, and then they'd come back.
So recently, the Little Theater celebrated their 75th year. And I was concerned as a past president 20-some years ago, what happened to all those files. And they have mandatory things they have to say from every single show, scripts, but you had to take like 3 rolls of pictures in black and white. But anyways, that's all sitting over in the old funeral home.
Yeah.
It might be and I don't know that they'll ever have them, but it would be interesting to see that digitized as
sure.
well to preserve the history.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
it has survived 2 fires
Yeah.
and a flood and whatever else, but that
And
would
that's,
be
I mean,
a
that's
collaboration.
a huge focus just in general is getting things digitized. It helps make it more accessible in general. It does protect against horrific events. Most recently, we've been working on digitizing all 10,000 of our photos. So that's been our current digitization process or project. The late Don Garrison actually spent huge amounts of time getting all of those scanned. So we have them all scanned, and now we're working on getting them input into the cataloging system so they're findable. But yeah, absolutely. Anytime we can digitize something is, I mean, hugely helpful to the community.
It's on the to-do list.
Yeah, I'll add it on there. Yeah.
Now you said that there's, now October you have a sports.
Yeah, we actually have a couple things in October that are sports related. We're doing the STEAM Saturday. That will be Saturday, October 11th. So hands-on opportunities to interact with some historic sporting goods. I know Kim has been pulling out historic ice skates. We've got old boxing gloves, things like that. So we'll have those out that people can actually interact with, touch, experience. We'll have some crafts and some science experiments that they can do. I believe a sports like knowledge quiz. And then we actually have our friends from KO Boxing over in Manhattan coming to our event to teach the sweet science of boxing to anyone who comes, learn some basics. Because we're getting ready for an event at the end of October. Someone took my flyer, I'd show it to you. To partner with KO Boxing to bring live boxing fights to Junction City. I know it seems odd, but I've been boxing for 9 years, and so something that I'm passionate about. I coach over there, and they're passionate about bringing live boxing, and so they said, hey, if we come to Junction City, how would you feel if we shared a portion of the proceeds with you? And I said, I would love that. So they'll bring the live boxing, and we will have, again, a table of history at that event so people can actually learn about Junction City sports history. I don't know if you know this, but Joe Louis, famous boxer, was stationed at Fort Riley. He actually spoke at the USOs, one of them which was in the municipal building auditorium, and that's where our event will be. So a little of everything coming in. So yeah, lots of sports coming up in October.
After the stuff is digitized, how can the public access?
So right now, the library, you can go onto their website to look at the newspapers and the yearbooks. If you ever do that, it's a huge resource. But something I always like to tell people, because sometimes it gets confusing, is if you're looking for a full word, let's say you're looking for my name, if you just type in Heather Hagedorn in the search result, it's going to pull up every single Heather that's ever been printed and every single Hagedorn that's ever been printed. So that'll probably pull me up. But if you want to find that full sentence, make sure you put it in quotation marks. That's how the search system finds it. So a little helpful hint for you there. As far as our collection goes, right now we're still in the cataloging process. So you can't go on our website or anything to just look it up. But if you come in and you say, hey, I'm looking for this photo, it is significantly easier for me to pull it up, email it to you, print you off a copy, whatever it is you need, because I don't have to go through 10,000 photos to find it.
What are your hours when you're open?
The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Museum staff is present at the building in the mornings as well. But that's when we come do fun things like this, do school programming, get ready for events. But if you ever need us in the morning, just come and ring our bell, and someone's usually there.
So one of your challenges recently is to be getting the word out about the Historical Society. How are you doing that?
Yeah, so as Farrell mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, we have had a bizarre shift in public opinion, which we're not really sure where that came from. Like I said, I think people are confused about what a historical society does. I think there's also a little confusion because our name has Geary County in the title, that we're just a county building, county office. We're not. We're a private institution. We just tell the story of Geary County, so it's in our name. But in order to get the word out, we are trying to double down on the things we're doing in the community. So if you have anything that you want us to come speak at, anywhere that you want us to do a table with hands-on artifacts, anything like that, reach out to us. We're happy to come out.
And you recently got city support to help you with your program.
Yes, we did recently receive city support as of last night. Unfortunately, we did find our budget from the county very slashed this year or for 2026. And so we reached out to the city hoping that they might help us fill that deficit. So that way we can continue to offer as many free programming opportunities as we have been. And last night the vote did go through to help us for 2026. So we're very, very grateful that that happened.
How much of the county reduced?
So the county has been reducing us every single year for the last 4 years. Every year I'm told, oh, this is going to be the last year we reduce you, and then it happens again. So they reduced us by 15,000 from what we were at last year, but 25,000 from what we felt like we needed with the costs increasing for next year. So
The city's participation.
they're participating by helping us with 10,000. So we're still in a little bit of a deficit, but it's not quite as soul crushing.
Got some in-kind service.
From the city. Yes, I believe the city is also going to be helping us with some cracked concrete in the front of our building, some crumbling curbing in front of Starkey House, things like that.
What do you like most about your job?
You know, if you had asked me 5 years ago, when I was just the curator, I would have said building exhibits. I really love doing exhibit work. But about 5 years ago, my job was combined into two, and now I'm also the director. And so my focus has had to shift a little bit. I do still really love building exhibits. I just don't get to do it quite as often as I used to. So honestly, I think my favorite part is the people. We have people from all over the world come into our museum to learn about our community, and we get to chat with them. Farrell is one of our docents. So he's one of the people I also get to hang out with. But he can tell you we have some really cool visitors that come in. So yeah.
So there's all kinds of rumors flying around
Yeah.
about Fort Riley's Post and
Yeah.
the Army's museum across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of efforts I've read about by surrounding
Sure.
communities, because that stuff is still property of the federal government. Has there been any discussion with the potential closing of the Calvary Museum about hosting?
That, I mean, honestly, that's, yes. I mean, we've been asked the question multiple times.
Okay.
That's not how the Army works. Yes, if those museums were to be closed, which is a travesty,
Right.
those items would just be put into Army storage, probably somewhere in Virginia. Unfortunately, that it wouldn't come to us. I think on one hand, luckily, a lot of times when people are looking to donate locally relevant military history, they've come to us and not the Army. So people who served within our community, we have a lot of the items from their service, and the Army is more of a like general. This is a rifle from 1865 without that local connection. So we will still have a military representation within a museum here. It just won't be the level that we had with the Calvary Museum. Yeah.
Heather, we don't have $10,000 to give you, but we do have $200 to give you.
Well, I'm happy to take it because then we can do History Live again.
Okay. We'll do that presentation after.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving me the chance to speak.
And before we close out, I'd like for you to select one of these.
Oh, no.
I
It's a lot
need,
of pressure.